Welcome to my Titration Lab video. Here's my procedure for our Titration Lab. A titration is a technique where a solution of known concentration, called our standard solution, is used to determine the concentration of an unknown solution, called the analyte. Knowing the concentration of our standard and how much titrant is added by our burette helps to determine the concentration of our unknown solution. KHP is the standard solution in our first titration, and sodium hydroxide is our analyte. After I measured out some KHP and dissolved it in water, I added an indicator so we could visibly see when our endpoint occurs. I then lowered the stand so it was just about eye level or a little bit lower and poured in 50 milliliters of sodium hydroxide to our burette. You can see the meniscus resting at 50 milliliters here. Once the 50 milliliters of sodium hydroxide was added, it was time to raise our stand and start our titration. An important thing is when sodium hydroxide was being added from the burette to continually swirl the solution of KHP. Another really important thing was that every time I got close to my endpoint, I had to slow down adding my sodium hydroxide. So here we can see I'm starting to see a little bit of pink in the KHP solution, and that let me know to put the stopcock to a more horizontal position and add it slowly until I got my desired pink color. Once I finally got to that perfect light pink color, it was time to take note of how much NaOH was left in my burette and record it in my notebook. Now it was time for our second titration, in which we used our standardized sodium hydroxide to figure out the concentration of a soda. Sodium hydroxide became our standard solution, and our soda was our analyte. I did the second titration, recorded my initial volume and my final volumes of sodium hydroxide, and used it to figure out the concentration of the soda. I hope this video shows you how I properly used a burette to perform a simple titration and standardize a dilute sodium hydroxide solution. Thank you.